Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the dramatic developments unfolding this Friday, January 30, as Port Charles faces one of its most challenging snowstorms in recent memory. The winter weather has brought the city to a complete standstill, creating dangerous conditions that have separated families and left residents scrambling for safety. Multiple storylines converge as parents desperately search for their children, old rivalries resurface, and unexpected alliances begin to form in the midst of chaos. Nathan's growing concerns at Metro Court. Detective Nathan West and Lulu Spencer have successfully made their way from the notorious Badgen Cafe to the relative safety of the Metro Court Hotel, but their relief is short-lived. The atmosphere inside the luxurious establishment is tense, with guests huddled together trying to make sense of the deteriorating weather conditions outside. Nathan's face reflects the deep concern weighing heavily on his mind as he confides in Lulu about their increasingly dire situation. His biggest worry centers on Charlotte Cassadine, who remains unaccounted for somewhere in the snow-covered streets of Port Charles. The detective's professional training allows him to assess situations critically, and what he sees doesn't inspire confidence. Nathan expresses his growing apprehension to Lulu, explaining that he's uncertain how much longer they can count on having electricity or maintaining cell phone signal. The power grid throughout Port Charles is being pushed to its absolute limits by the relentless storm, with transformers failing across multiple neighborhoods. Even if the Metro Court has emergency backup generators installed, which most high-end establishments do, there's still the pressing question of how long their fuel reserves will last if this blizzard continues for an extended period. However, the communication issue presents an even more significant challenge than the power situation. In modern emergency response, cell phones serve as the primary lifeline for coordinating rescue efforts and keeping families connected. Without reliable signal, people become isolated islands in a sea of white, unable to call for help or confirm their loved one's safety. Nathan knows that every passing hour without communication increases the risk exponentially. For someone not equipped with a police radio like the one in his patrol car, being cut off from the cellular network could mean the difference between life and death in these treacherous conditions. Lulu's emotional state is rapidly deteriorating as the reality of their situation becomes clear. Soon she'll be overwhelmed with panic about Charlotte's whereabouts, her mind conjuring worst-case scenarios, despite Nathan's attempts to remain calm and optimistic. What neither of them realizes in their frantic worry is that Charlotte is actually safe and secure, having found shelter from the storm. The question remains whether Rocco Falconeri managed to get through to his mother before the communications network became too unstable. Did he successfully deliver the crucial message that Charlotte had made it to the Quartermain mansion before cell service became spotty? This information could provide immense relief to Lulu, but only if the message actually reached her. Valentin and Carly's unexpected bond. Meanwhile, across town at Carly's residence, Charlotte's devoted father Valentin Cassadine finds himself in an unusual position. Carly had extended a generous offer to join him in searching for Charlotte, a gesture that surprised Valentin given their complicated history. This conversation followed Carly's earlier attempt to convince Valentin to remain indoors rather than venture out into a blizzard that meteorologists were describing as potentially catastrophic. The snow had been accumulating at alarming rates, with wind gusts creating whiteout conditions that made even short trips extremely hazardous. Now, in a moment of genuine curiosity mixed with gratitude, Valentin poses a direct question to Carly. Why would she be willing to risk her own life for him? It's a fair question considering the complex web of relationships and past conflicts that have defined their interactions. Carly's motivations have become clearer through recent observations. Witnessing Valentin's unwavering love and fierce determination to ensure his daughter's safety has revealed a different side of the man that Carly hadn't fully appreciated before. She's recognized that beneath the sometimes ruthless exterior lies a father with a genuinely good heart who would move mountains to protect his child. The shared experience of parental worry is creating an unexpected bridge between these two strong personalities. Both Carly and Valentin understand the all-consuming nature of parental love, the kind that makes you willing to face any danger or overcome any obstacle if it means keeping your children safe. They're beginning to bond over their respective roles as protective parents, each having daughters who mean everything to them. This common ground is fostering a new level of understanding and perhaps even the beginnings of mutual respect. The storm raging outside seems to be breaking down walls inside as well, allowing these two individuals to see each other in a different light. Charlotte and Danny's secret hideaway. In another part of Port Charles, Charlotte and Danny Morgan have bundled themselves up in heavy winter clothing, suggesting they may have decided to leave the safety of the Quartermain mansion after all. Their breath creates small clouds in the cold air as they navigate through the snow-covered grounds. Danny's voice carries a note of satisfaction and relief as he tells Charlotte that the place they've discovered is absolutely perfect. His reassurance that no one will know they're there suggests they've found a secluded spot that offers both shelter and privacy. All signs point to the gatehouse on the Quartermain estate, a charming structure that currently sits vacant without any permanent residents. This small building, typically used for guest accommodations or estate staff, would provide adequate protection from the elements while keeping them close to the main mansion if they need to return. Initially, Danny had been reluctant to leave the Grand Quartermain mansion, particularly after his phone started receiving urgent shelter-in-place alerts from local emergency services. These automated warnings had stressed the importance of remaining indoors and avoiding all unnecessary travel due to life-threatening conditions. However, something must have changed Danny's mind, convincing him that relocating to the gatehouse was necessary or desirable. Perhaps they wanted more privacy, or maybe they felt they were causing concern by being noticed in the mansion. The gatehouse should prove to be a secure refuge for as long as they need to wait out the storm. Its solid construction and presumably functioning utilities make it a practical choice for temporary shelter. Despite the physical safety of their current location, Charlotte's mind remains troubled by her inability to reach her father. She's tried repeatedly to contact Valentin, but the increasingly unreliable cell service has thwarted every attempt. Her frustration grows with each failed call, imagining how worried he must be. What Charlotte doesn't realize is that her concern about Valentin's state of mind is entirely justified. Both of her parents are beside themselves with worry, their anxiety building with each passing minute of silence. The irony of the situation isn't lost. Charlotte is safe and warm, yet her parents are tormented by not knowing, while she's equally distressed by her inability to tell them she's okay. Molly's revelations and Cody's questions. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Molly Lansing Davis has arrived at Cody Bell's apartment with some interesting news. The apartment located below the Quartermain stables provides a cozy, if modest, setting for their conversation. Cody's immediate reaction to whatever Molly has shared is one of confusion mixed with concern. His pointed question reveals his bewilderment. What does Molly's sister have to do with any of this? The sister in question is clearly Christina Corinthos Davis, who has a history of finding herself entangled in complicated situations. Cody's question suggests that Christina has once again become involved in something unexpected or potentially problematic. His tone implies both exasperation and genuine worry about what Christina might have gotten herself mixed up in this time. Knowing Christina's track record, Cody's next logical question will undoubtedly be asking for more specific details about the nature of her latest predicament. The two of them are almost certainly snowed in together at this point, with the storm making any travel impossible. However, being trapped together doesn't seem to present any problems for Molly and Cody. They'll have no difficulty finding ways to occupy their time, whether through continued conversation, sharing meals, or simply enjoying each other's company while waiting for the weather to improve. The forced proximity might even strengthen whatever relationship exists between them. Tracy and Martin's heated confrontation. At Drew Kane's house, an entirely different drama continues to unfold. Tracy Quartermain remains locked in a tense standoff with Martin Gray, their argument showing no signs of resolution. Tracy had come to Drew's residence with a specific mission, retrieving the valuable Quartermain family heirlooms that Drew had somehow acquired. After Tracy began her journey back to the Quartermain mansion, these precious items, pieces of family history with both sentimental and monetary value, had been stored at Lulu's house while Tracy was temporarily staying there during Ronnie Bard's occupation of the mansion. The complicated chain of custody for these heirlooms involves Tracy's discovery of Alan Quartermain's genuine will hidden inside his beloved train set. This revelation had significant implications for the family's estate and property distribution. However, Drew had managed to intercept the items after Tracy located the authentic will, creating the current impasse. The circumstances of how Drew came to possess these family treasures remain murky, adding fuel to Tracy's justified indignation. The tension between Tracy and Martin crackles like electricity in the room. Tracy's sharp demand cuts through the air. She wants to know what she possibly did to deserve that, though the specific nature of that remains deliberately vague. Was it an insult, an action, a betrayal of some kind? Whatever Martin said or did has clearly struck a nerve with the formidable Tracy. Quartermain, and she's not about to let it pass without confrontation. The dynamics between these two strong-willed individuals promise to generate more fireworks before this situation reaches any kind of resolution.